Brian, one of the most common questions that we have from people is, should I pay off my mortgage? If you have the money to pay off your mortgage, is it always a good idea to do that?
Not necessarily, but sometimes, the answer to all of our questions, it depends. Depends on your situation. And this is an interesting one because paying off your mortgage, I can talk about the financial aspects or the tax aspects of that, but there's something called peace of mind. And so sometimes the answer is absolutely pay off your mortgage, not because it makes any particular better sense to do so money-wise, but if you sleep better at night, or maybe your spouse sleeps better at night, often the answer is yes, pay it off, because there's something about owning your house that people can relate to. That's a big deal. That's a big accomplishment in their life. So before I get into the financial aspects of this, I just want to point out, if it's really important for you to pay off your mortgage and you have the money, by all means do it if that adds to your peace of mind. Now, on the dollars and cents side, one of the things we have to look at is alternative uses of funds. So let's say you had a $200,000 mortgage and you had $200,000 available cash to pay it off. But maybe that $200,000's been in an investment that's doing really, really well, and your interest rate is only 3%. You might say, well, I'm making a whole lot more than 3%, and I don't mind taking the risk, because every investment that pays well has risk. And so you might be of the mind that from a numbers and cents point, I'm making more than I'm paying out, so I want to have that leverage out there. But if you don't have a good alternative, or you don't feel like it's very reliable, you might say, well, if my interest I'm paying is 3%, that, I looked at the CDs out there, they're paying 0.5% or paying 1% or whatever. I'd be doing better, money saved is money earned, so I'd be doing better off putting my money towards that mortgage and saving that 3%.
Brian, when is the deduction of the interest a factor here?
That's a good question, because a lot of people say, I can't pay off my mortgage, I'll get killed on taxes. I hear that so many times. And I look at their tax return and I say, you know how much benefit you get from the interest? Yeah, I get a lot, right? No, it's zero. Often it's zero, because we have such a high standard deduction. And so we look at our standard deduction. Let's say you had a $150,000 mortgage, you gave a couple grand to charity, you paid your property taxes, you add up all your itemized deductions at the end of the year, and they add up to $23,000. Well, your standard deduction is higher than that already, and you take the greater of the two. So if you already have that there, you're going, well, wait a second. So all that interest I paid in property taxes and charitable donations really didn't change my tax returns? If I had none of any of those, I would pay the exact same amount of tax? Yeah, often that's the answer when you have a lower mortgage like that. Now, if your mortgage is $750,000, probably not the case. But if you have a $150,000 mortgage, you might be looking at your tax return saying, I really get zero additional benefit. I might as well go ahead and pay this mortgage off because I'm not even getting any tax benefit. So looking at your tax return, determining how much benefit you actually get from your mortgage interest can be kind of eye-opening sometimes.
Brian, we've had some historically low interest rates. I know that interest rates fluctuate all the time. Is that a consideration in whether I want to pay off my mortgage or use that money and possibly make more than, what I'm paying out in interest on a loan?
Absolutely. In the old days, mortgages, I had an 8.5% mortgage once upon a time. I want to pay that off. When I got a 3% mortgage, not so much. I think I can do a lot better than 3%. 8.5's a tough nut to cross there, but 3's not that tough out there for most people. So yeah, it does depend on a lot of factors. What your alternative investments are that are available to you, your risk tolerance, your age, your just all these things factor in. The taxes, as I mentioned, all these things can factor in as to whether it makes sense for you to pay off your mortgage or not.
Should I pay off my mortgage? Well, I guess, Brian, the definitive answer is two words.
It depends.
It depends. Thanks for telling us more.
You got it.